Hi everyone, we're now in lesson 2 and this is all about technical reports. Alright, so let us define first what does a report mean. The word report was derived from the Latin term reportare, which means to bring back. An individual who is assigned to get an important data or information goes to the field which gets the data and bring it back to the person who is assigned to him to do the task. And that is another definition according to Romero of 1985. Then there are several definitions of the word report. A report may be defined as technical data collected, analyzed, and presented in an organized form. It is also a systematic and objective communication of factual information and achieve in order to achieve a specific purpose or purposes. There are reasons for writing a report. First, an individual may write a report out of his own initiative or volition. He may wish to have a record of his problems, analysis, and findings. Secondly, it is a standard procedure of groups, institutions, or companies to write reports on the development, findings, conclusions, and others, or a certain organization as well. When an experiment is the laboratory is conducted, a report on its findings shall also be reported. Okay, so those are ways or reasons why we write report. Let's go now to characteristics of report. Number one, it should be accurate. The information contained in a report should be accurate, meaning it should be true, factual, and exact. It should be supported by evidence and verified by test results, experiments, research, research documents, and other valid resources. All right, so let me correct that one. Supported by evidence. All right, so it should be accurate. Then it should be clear. The report should contain information which is clear and understandable to the reader. Correct grammar, punctuation, and spelling should be used. Okay? Words and phrases which are simple and can communicate more easily are better than complex words and phrases which are very difficult to understand. Number two, I already shared to you the previous slides with this, so you can hear back about writing a paragraph report. So I think I mentioned this one. Then number three, it should be concise. The word concise means brief but full of meaning. The word or the report must be short, but it should contain very important data and information needed. Verbosity and wordiness should be avoided in reports, right? So report only, present only what is um, very important. Then it should be objective. Objectivity means that logic, so you have to present your report in a logical manner rather than expressing your emotions, feelings that determine the message and the content of the report. The report should never be influenced by your personal judgments, sentiments, or biases. So it should be fair or objective. So let's go now to classifications of reports. Okay, classification of reports. We have subject matter. This refers to the topic or field the report is dealing with. Okay, what is that report all about? Okay. Then time interval. There are some reports which are written daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, or annually. These reports are all usually written at regular intervals. For example, a salesman, for instance, has to make a monthly report of his sales. A supervisor, perhaps, makes a weekly report of the performance of the men under his supervision, right? So in our case, every end of the semester, we're also asked or obliged to submit our um, accomplishment report. Okay, so same thing like that. Then function. Reports may be classified according to what they do. as informational, or it could be analytical report. So what does that mean? Informational reports present the facts about subject matter. From the facts presented, the reader then makes his own interpretation and analysis from the facts presented. While in analytical reports, the writer analyzes the facts of the report, makes his own conclusions and recommendations. Okay? So those are the difference between the two types of reports under functions of report. Then formality. So reports should be formal. Reports may be prepared for informal and formal situations. Informal reports are written for informal occasions. All right? So they contain the basic parts of a report. The formal reports contain preparatory and supplemental parts. Example, we need to have transmittal letter. Okay? So aside from the basic parts, formal reports are written for formal occasions as well. Then we have to also focus on the length. Reports may also be classified according to their length. Short reports contain 1 to 10 pages, while long reports contain more than 10 pages. Okay, so in our case, when we receive memorandum, it only contains 1 or 2 pages. Okay, so depending on what type of report again. Okay, authorship. Reports written by people working in public institutions or entities are considered public reports. Those written by individuals who work or belong to private institutions or companies are called private reports. All right. So use charts to explain here. So there are types of reports. It could be informal report, formal report, printed form, memorandum, letters, booklet. It could be in booklet style or bulletin. Okay. So general guidelines in writing a report. Okay. So first, determine the purpose of the report. The writer must know the use, objective, and the importance of the report. Okay, so why are you making a report? Okay. Determine the recipient of the report. Writer must know who will read, okay, listen, as well as the benefit the report. So in other words, we have to consider also your audience. For example, you are made to write a progress report. So to whom you're going to send those report. Okay, and why? What is the purpose why you are making a project report? Okay. Then, know the different types of reports. In preparing a report, one should be knowledgeable of its different types and should know whether the report is going to prepare is a progress, periodic report, a field report, or it is a laboratory report. Okay, so those are only examples. Then you have to know the different formats of reports. In preparing report, one should be knowledgeable of its different formats. We should know whether to use the memorandum, letter, or conventional report format. Okay, don't you worry because in your module, I also indicated there some types of uh, reports with its formats. Then conduct investigation, experiment, or research. In gathering data for the report, one can go over printed materials, especially when you interview your respondents, when you make observations, and even conduct experimentation for testing. Okay? Organize the report. You have to know, you should know how to arrange the data and information in a logical order as determined by the purpose of the report, the recipient, and the subject matter of the report. Okay. Then plan and prepare the types of visuals when you make your presentation. And so let's have this one. Informal reports, then a formal report. Informal tend to be shorter, although the quantity of pages or words is not defined. You have to think of informal reports as documents under 10 pages. An informal report usually has specific topics grouped in a paragraphs, and these topics tend to have simple headings. Note that while informal reports often don't have required headings, you can take inspiration from the headings required in formal reports. Okay? Formal report tends to be longer, although again the quantity pages are not really defined. It may start at 10 pages and in some cases exceed 100 pages. With a formal report, the topic of the report or the policy of the company perhaps being written or determines which sections, labels, content, purpose should be used as the basis for the report. And these reports address complex topics that require substantial description of the background, research on the topic, the evidence to support any proposed solutions, both data gathering and summary of the topic generated length. That is why it's quite lengthy. Okay. Then, informational report provides summary of information and data found in a particular topic. One such report is expense report, which is a report of a set of information that is used to request allocation of funds. The format is strictly predetermined and is often completed at the end of the business trip. Yes. Other category of report is analytical report. So in this type of report, information is researched and collected. Then report provides an analysis that leads to one or more recommendations. For example, consider a report that helps a company determine whether to open a new store. The report might look at the three properties with respect to the road traffic, cost of the land, adjoining stores, and then recommend the best site from the alternatives. So that is analytical report. And maybe you will be doing this one towards the end of the course. Okay, so you will be asked to make an example of your analytical report. Okay, here. There are types of formal reports. There may be different kinds of formal reports, maybe encounter. So here, research report, gather and explain data. These reports are informational. Okay, proposals, maybe internal to a company addressing business situation or maybe come from solicited or unsolicited sales situations. Then feasibility reports, okay? Specific type of analytical report. When an entrepreneur or a business manager has a new idea, it is prudent to fully explore the idea before making major investments. So you have to weigh things out before establishing a certain business. So some think of this report as a precursor to developing full business plan. While a business plan may take any months to develop, feasibility report can be developed in such lesser time, and it still provides excellent direction for decision maker. Then we have also business plans. Typically, informational reports about the new or existing company plans to do over the next period of time. So we need business plan. Okay. Then we have memorandum report. Simple memorandum. This is different from memorandum report. It serves as reminder of scheduled meetings, conferences, or accomplishment for a certain task. Okay, so we use usually memorandum report. Okay, to announce our schedule for meeting, conferences, and other development in the academy. Okay, so a memorandum is communication that makes needed information immediately. So this is an example of a format for memorandum. Okay, so you have there the date and then to whom you're going to address the said letter, then from the dean, from the president perhaps, then the subject. Okay, so what is that report all about? So we have here change in operating hours. So you have there the body. All right, so with its label. So you go over with that. Okay, so memorandum report is intended to give information. It is short and informal and does not contain any visual material. It is primarily used within the institution, firm, or in organization. Okay, letter report is usually sent to someone outside the institution, organization, or any company. It allows conventional letter writing practices regarding heading, inside address, salutation, and signature. Right. Then we have bulletin. This is used to inform people within as well as outside the organization regarding matters of permanent or great value such as change in policies, new rules and regulations, changes in personnel and others. Then we have field report. Usually provides the result of a visit to a particular location or site. Okay. Periodic report, written as a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly basis. Different formats may be used like memorandum, letter format, or format report. So we have your periodic report. So reminders, remember that reports communicate information which has been compiled as a result of research or analysis of data and issues. Reports can cover a wide range of topics, but usually focus on transmitting information with a clear purpose to a specific audience. Good reports are documents that are accurate, objective, and complete. They should also be well written, clearly structured, and expressed in a way that holds the reader's attention and meets their expectations. All right? So take note of that. The true value of the research may be assessed through a report, since the written report may be the only tangible product of hundreds of hours of work. Rightly or wrongly, the quality of worth of that work are judged by the quality of the written report, its clarity, organization, and content. That's according to Blake and Bly of 1993. Okay. The scope and style of reports varies widely. It depends on three key factors: report's intended audience, the report's purpose, the type of information to be communicated. For example, technical reports communicate technical information. So the degree of technicality in the report will depend on the reader's familiarity and understanding of technical concepts. Okay, so I think that would be all. And then thank you very much for participation. Then if you have any questions, feel free to message me in our GC. And then later on, I will send you also our module for this topic. Thank you.